This is the Troll live with Justin Freakin.
Like right at the last second, I got resin all over my fucking hands. Like, that's not good. Welcome to the Troll Patrol Live. Good evening. It's a freaking Monday. Torchy. Good evening. Flash. Warlord. Producer Warlord saves the day. I thought Elon was interviewing old Trumpy boy again. Apparently not. Apparently it's just Trump. And it's not going to be any kind of interview on the assassination attempt. It's going to be the announcement of Don Jr.'s crypto launch. Which means that this is just complete bullshit. Anonymously, Sky Comet. Flash, my friend. I came on 5 minutes early so that I could jump into. I've set the reminder for the Twitter Spaces. The word of the day is stochastic. Stochastic. And I was sitting here, I was like, wow, there's usually like 10, 11, 12 people in here during the countdown. I was like, I've trained everybody well. They're all going to come in at 5 till. And boom, sure enough, it happened. Yes, the town of... They might as well rename Springfield Stochastic, Ohio. Yet another day. Terroristic threat, USA. I'm not high enough for this shit. I'm grinding up some weed. We're going to do this Trump Twitter. So I didn't prepare a show tonight. I have been super busy all goddamn day. This Twitter space was supposed to happen. I was like, well, I'll do a little bit of news. We'll do this Twitter space, but I didn't even get a chance to do a little bit of news. I did want a day off, god damn it. It's okay. We find out what that news be doing. Plus, it's Live Music Monday, and we're going to do the VMAs. So, is it live already? Mine has not changed. I've got it up. Okay, I'm in. Joined, bitches! For this crypto launch. I want to make sure I got in time this time. It'd be awesome if my avatar is close to the top. That'd be fun. I wanted to clip the phone call we had last night because I really enjoyed that. And what did he say at the end? That God, I went back and listened to it today too, and I still didn't get it right. Warlord, you weren't here for that, were you? I'm more complex than I looked. Yes, thank you, Flash. I'm more complex than I looked. And I was like, what? What the fuck does that mean? Here is, you can see that we are in the live from Mar-a-Lago with Donald Trump here on the Twitter Spaces. It has not started yet. It's just a crypto, and he is... I'm gonna clip it, put it up on YouTube, Torchy. This is apparently a fucking crypto thing. This is apparently not any kind of press conference about the attempted assassination that happened yesterday. What, about 28, 29 hours ago? No. He is, and this, if you are a conspiracy theorist, you think that it's possible that they staged that event yesterday. This kind of gives credence to it that they're going to launch a crypto scam off the back of an attempted assassination. Tones, good evening. I saw all kinds of bullshit about the Ohio Attorney General and all the shit going on up there. I'm kind of tired of the story. It's gotten way too much oxygen than it should. Here's your meme of the day. Minty! I've got that clip. That's one of the clips we'll watch tonight. I did not put a show together, but we'll watch some clips. That is definitely one of the clips that I have. Now, if you're a conspiracy theorist on 9/11, if you're a 9/11 truther like Laura Loomer, you would think that that meme would imply that Harris sent the shooter, which I do not believe. Do not believe that Bush did 9/11 either. Do I think he was incompetent and his incompetence led to the failure that helped 9/11 happen? Abso-fucking-lutely. So how long did it take them to get the last one of these started? What was it, like 30, 40 minutes? So probably yet another clusterfuck tonight. Bush was too dumb to do 9/11, but yeah, an argument could be made. Rumsfeld, Cheney, Ashcroft, all the ghouls that were left over from the Nixon administration. These motherfuckers worked for Nixon. Ah, Flash, yes, Jinx. Go me a Coke. I can assure you one thing. I am not high enough for this shit, and this is my first actual bong of marijuana in a few days. Yeah, Richard Armitage. I forgot about that. That's a name I haven't heard in fucking years. Libertad, good evening. That definitely hit me. So, how long do you guys think it's going to take before this gets... Oh, shit. Amazing. Remember, stay tuned on Twitch after this. We're going to do Live Music Monday. We're going to watch the VMA performances from last week. Watch me be a boomer is what you're going to do. Because I knew two of the artists. Maybe three. Like Megan Thee Stallion. I think Katy Perry performed, didn't she? Like, I know who Katy Perry is, but, you know... And then, like, everybody else was like, who are these people? I have heard Sabrina Carpenter. I think she performed. Oh, Chapel Roan. Chapel Roan performed. So maybe four. I knew four of the about 13 or 14 performances. Well, I thought they were going to get started. I thought they were cutting me off there. Our host for Forica.
Check. Just checking that everybody can hear me. Check 1 2. May I get some thumbs up for the audience? Before we go, just a quick disclaimer. A few quick reminders before we begin. You should think of our conversation today as a general discussion. You are going to hear from a number of speakers, all with their own opinions that may not necessarily represent the views of others or any organizations with which they are associated. You should understand, our speakers have financial interest in some of the items we plan to discuss today and in decentralized finance and decentralized...
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Generally. Of course, nothing discussed here today should be deemed technical, legal, financial, or any kind of advice.
You know you're getting ready to get scammed.
Advisors, if you're seeking any advice. To the extent there are discussions about future plans, vision...
is there video to this? The Hill had a thing about it.
It's important to remember that
there might be a video component.
Information
and if so, we'll ditch
subject to change.
Twitter.
And uncertainties which can change current plans and expectations. Now hold on tight, and we'll be with you in a couple of minutes.
Boring.
Forward-looking information, and the future generally is subject.
Oh, so they're just gonna have a fucking screen of Twitter up. That's what the Hill is doing. No, I'm better than that. Mox, good evening. I got in here. For those who don't know, Clinically usually shows up. It's a weird time. It could be any time. Hour and a half before the show, maybe 20 minutes before the show, maybe 3 minutes before the show. But Clinically usually shows up and has something, sometimes derogatory, sometimes like almost like a prep talk. Sometimes it's hype for the news. Sometimes it's just a cynical quip. But I kind of look forward to it when I start getting everything ready to go live. I enjoy seeing whatever Clinically is commented. And I'm missing it right now because Clinically is serving a 1-week suspension. That is the casualty that we have suffered thanks to the brigade that we had the other night. That wasn't really a brigade. We're not going to watch very much of this, I assure you. We're probably going to spend more time waiting on this. Baron is in here. Come on. I don't think that's the real Baron, though. Well, I assume that he's going to say something about the assassination. Where are the comments? Oh, do I need to... oh, okay. I see. Here we go. That's a funny video. You know what that reminds me of? Back before Trump was a menace to society. I mean, I think he's always been a menace to society, but he was kind of like a fun, lovable menace, right? I miss that Trump. Well, I'm in the comments of the space, I assure you. They won't let me request to speak. I would love to speak. The real comments, what's the difference? Oh, over on Farouk's. Did CNN turn against Kamala? I see what you mean now. I didn't know that these would be Farouk or whoever the fuck this is. Who is this dude? Co-founder and president of Myriad Markets, Rug Radio, Decrypt Media. I assume that's an NFT he has as a... Oh my god. And this is the bad part about AI. It's just like we're getting flooded with this kind of bullshit. What in the fuck? Like, this is weird. Oregon gal.
Just checking that we're unmuted again. And we're good to go. Good evening, everyone. Before we begin, I want to address yesterday's awful events. It is a huge relief to us all that nobody was hurt. And I think that many in the crypto community will agree with me when I say that we're here with you, Mr. President, during these trying times. Your unwavering support for our community has not gone unnoticed, and we're immensely grateful for it.
Warlord, my comment back to you would be that the memes would be better if he wasn't president.
This interview blows my mind. It speaks volumes.
If he had lost in 2016, the memes would have been better.
Thank you very much, and I
He
appreciate
would have been on all the cable news all the time, bitching about Hillary.
it. Worked out well, and Secret Service did an excellent job. And they have the man behind bars, and hopefully he's going to be there for a long time. Dangerous person, very, very dangerous person. But I appreciate the comments very much.
Well, I appreciate you for allowing me to interview you and in your wonderful Mar-a-Lago home, which is truly an honor, and I'm very grateful for it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, Mr. President, I can say that myself, like I was saying, the crypto community and millions of Americans are relieved that you're here with us today after the second attempt on your life at the Trump National Golf Club. It's just horrifying. Can you run us through what happened?
So I was playing golf with some of my friends. It was on a Sunday morning, and very peaceful, very beautiful weather. Everything was beautiful. It was a nice place to be. And all of a sudden we heard shots being fired in the air, and I guess probably 4 or 5. And it sounded like bullets, but what do I know about that? But Secret Service knew immediately it was bullets. And they grabbed me, and I think probably the other one, Steve is one of the people, Steve Witkoff, a great friend of mine, a great businessman from mostly New York and Florida, great businessman, and more importantly, just a fantastic person. So we're in the group, and everybody we got into the carts, and we moved along pretty good. I was with an agent, and the agent did a fantastic job. There was no question that we were off that course. I would have loved to have sank that last putt, but we decided, well, let's get out of here. And what the gunfire was actually, interestingly, was a Secret Service agent had seen a barrel of a AK-47, which is a very powerful rifle, and he started shooting at the barrel, started shooting in the bushes.
Wow.
Could only see the barrel. How good is that, right? But could only see the barrel. Based on that, he started shooting and ran toward the target and was shooting a lot of, those were the shots we heard. The other one never got a shot off. And he ran across the street and grabbed his car, hopped into his truck or car. And amazingly, a civilian in that area saw something and it looked very suspicious. And in the car, drove their car to the back of his truck of some kind, and took pictures of the license plate, gave them to the sheriff's office. Sheriff Bradshaw is fantastic. The
YouTube thumbnail didn't show up. Motherfucker.
And within a fairly short period of time, they tracked him down on the highway. It was a pretty high-speed chase, and they ended up getting him. They got him. Because you wouldn't want to have somebody like that out there.
No.
He dropped his gun, the AK-47. He left his gun. He left cameras behind, left a lot of things behind. So the agent did a fantastic job. The civilian did a phenomenal job. A woman. Who would think you could take 1,000 times like that? How many people would have the brain power to follow him and take pictures of the back of his truck so that they end up getting, and the key was the license. So they got the license. After they had the license, there's all sorts of technology.
Most people
literally pinpoint where this truck is. I never knew something like that existed. And they pinpointed him on the highway. They got him with a high-speed chase. So they got him. It was amazing. So Secret Service did a great job. And I think I can say honestly, the sheriff's office, law enforcement, everybody really did a great job.
Incredible.
Very happy about that.
That's incredible to hear.
Thank you.
And backup question to that second fold is, this was the second attempt in your life in under 2 months. What do you make of that?
Well, there's a lot of rhetoric going on.
Has it only been 2 months?
The Democrats, when they talk about threat to democracy and all of this. And it seems that both of these people were radical lefts. The first one, they should learn.
Neither of them.
Apps that they haven't opened yet, which is pretty strange. And the father went out and got the biggest lawyer in the state of Pennsylvania, which is pretty strange, about the father of the shooter we're talking about in Butler, the first one. And that's pretty strange. There are a couple of pretty strange things going on.
Strange.
I can say this, the Secret Service was very brave in the sense that bullets were flying and they...
People are
I
strange.
went down
When you're a
I purposely went
stranger.
down. I saw what was happening, and people are probably screaming. I'm not sure if I recognized that, but I went down, and Secret Service, they were right there with bullets flying right at them, and they weren't hit, but 3 other people were, Corey, a firefighter, and 2 other gentlemen who they thought died. And actually, the doctors in Butler were unbelievable. They saved their lives. And we've actually raised a lot of money for the families, and family of Corey and the 2 gentlemen. And they both lived. They thought they were dead. The first thing I asked when I came up, I said, how many people are dead? Because we had a massive crowd. And with all those bullets flying, so 3 got hit. But there was a great display of brave.
Good Lord.
I mean, it was incredible. Normally, the crowd experts will tell you when they hear bullets, and we heard a lot of bullets going off.
Right.
A crowd this was a massive crowd. You couldn't even see the.
Yes, I'm just mass posting the link to the Troll Patrol to this very show.
The crowd always runs.
This very episode.
Like cattle. I mean, they stampede, and a lot of people get killed when they stampede. But they hear bullets, but nobody ran.
They all stayed.
You couldn't do this before Elon took over.
Nobody ran. In fact, you can see it in the small group behind me. There was a group of probably a couple of 100 people behind me. And
Kanye.
Nobody ran. In fact, they're standing up. Some of them are standing up looking for the shooter. The other one.
Now he's talking about the first shooting
Law
now.
enforcement. There's a gentleman that shimmied up to the roof, saw the man with a gun, and probably made him go faster than he would normally go. And so he didn't.
Some crypto. This is a crypto launch
going on. I mean, perhaps it's God wanting me to be president to save this country.
Oh my God!
But when I made the right turn, it's very unusual because the people weren't on the right. The people were standing out in front of me. When I turned my head at an exact 90-degree angle, the bullet came zooming by and
freedom to spam.
And the reason so much blood, they told me at the hospital. I said, "Why so much?" The ear is the bloodiest part of the body because of cartilage. He was giving me a whole description. I said,
the ear is the bloodiest part of the body.
But amazing bravery shown, amazing talent.
I believe it is this guy.
The 2 men that were hit really badly. I won't tell you exactly what happened to them. They were hit badly. And they both lived. Corey didn't make it. Corey was in bad shape. We had a person from the National Guard.
Did somebody just do some cocaine?
Run to his aid.
Minty, good evening.
He was hitting
burrito.
With all of that, was giving him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation because he was still alive.
Wow.
And people couldn't believe it. They thought it was such an incredible act. Who would do it? It would, just an amazing thing. And we're going to take care of him too because just the fact that he could do it, and some other people. So it was amazing bravery, and there was a mistake made, a bad mistake. That one building was unmanned on top.
Very.
And that was a mistake. There's nothing you can say about it.
I kind of like Twitter just because, it's kind of like the old internet. It's a Wild West.
We had another one with a different result, actually, much better result because we lost Corey, and two gentlemen were very badly hurt, but they're in pretty good shape now.
Right.
A lot of
clinically.
Doctors up there.
So glad to see you, my friend.
Love to hear that. Well, this is more of a personal question.
Okay.
Just turned 30 last week. We were just chit-chatting outside.
The personal question.
Young entrepreneur, son, aspiring father one day. Mm-hmm. With all of your success, you have a wonderful family. A couple of your sons are actually looking at us right now. You have a wonderful business for yourself, a wonderful life for yourself. You could be on the golf course without worrying about gunmen coming at you. But after multiple attempts at your life, you're still here. You've already been president of the United States of America once. You're about to be president of the United States of America again. We hope so. Why do you do this? What motivates you?
So we have a country that's in trouble, a country that I love. I love the people of this country, people like Corey, who were just this massive Trump fan, and he got hit. But people like that, they're in love with the country, and they hate seeing what's happened to the country when you have 21 million people pouring in from all countries all over the world, from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums. Insane asylums, and they are different. Even prisons and jails, they are different.
Usually when they insert a picture like that, they're like in their underwear.
And they're coming into
that she's in her military garb. Oh, God.
They're taking over small cities and big cities. I mean, look at New York, look at Chicago, look at LA. Tens of thousands of these people. And they're rough people in many cases. I mean, they are rough, tough people. Venezuela gangs, if you look at Aurora in Colorado, you have a governor that doesn't know what he's doing. He's petrified to be there. He doesn't know what to say. I mean, they're literally taking over real estate. They're becoming real estate developers in a much different way, right? They're taking over buildings. Everyone's afraid of them. And they have a big AK, talking about AK-47s. That's what they have. They carry massive guns. You say, where would they get this kind of power? And they're vicious people. They're gang members from Venezuela, largely, and known as being one of the roughest gangs anywhere in the world. You have MS-13, which is a bad gang, and you have these guys. And we're going to clean them out. We're going to get them out. But the bottom line, just answer quickly. I love the country. We're going to make America great again, and we'll be able to do it. We did it once, and we'll do it again, and much easier this time. The border is in much worse shape than it's ever been. This is the worst border there's ever been in any country. They have not done the job that they have to do. I mean, you have Kamala. She was the border czar. I call her the comrade because she's
I don't get this one.
Marxist. She wants to tax everybody out of business. She wants to raise taxes to 70, 80%.
Mama.
She wants an unrealized capital gain tax, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Nobody's ever even heard of such a thing. And
no one's ever heard of a capital gains tax.
Depression if she gets in. And very simply, though, we're going to make America great again, greater than ever before, and I love doing it.
Being from Canada, I can probably relate to what that means.
Yeah. We've got some problems.
A crypto entrepreneur based in Montreal here, so it's it's
not even American.
Best feeling as someone who's trying to build something out of nothing here. Speaking of which, I'm wondering now. I know this is quite different, right? But I know many people in crypto feel this way as we're trying to change the financial system. Quite literally, we're trying to change things and make a difference, but it always feels like there's some sort of a force against us. In your case, do you feel similarly that there's a force out there to get you?
Fire resist.
Well, you have a radical left force, and we have forces. I say that we have a lot of evil in the world. The world is a nasty place.
Dustin.
You can see that with some of the things that have happened.
This isn't even an interview, Dustin. This is a crypto launch.
I've done so well. It's an amazing country in some ways, but we have evil forces. You have the outside forces with the enemies, and you call them Russia, China, various places. I don't know that they're enemies. I think we'll get along great with China. I think we'll get along great with Russia. I want to get Russia to settle up with Ukraine and stop this. Millions of people being killed, far greater than the number you read about. But I want to get that done before I even take office. I want to get that done as president-elect because it has to be solved. Too many people dying, too many cities in rubble right now. You look at the culture is just being destroyed. Mm-hmm. We got to get that done, and I'll get it done. There wouldn't have been an October 7th. There wouldn't have been Russia attacking Ukraine.
Oh, yeah, the stream says interview.
All this inflation, which has hurt people so badly. You wouldn't have had that horrible type of withdrawal we were getting out of Afghanistan, but with dignity and strength. That was the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And frankly, Russia would have never gone into Ukraine if it weren't for that. They looked at that and they said, this country is no longer run by Trump.
Thank you, Warlord.
Stupid people.
Thank you, Kanye. I enjoyed that.
We have a great military. I took out...
I think I've hit my stride with talking to people.
Everyone said it was going to take 4 or 5 years. I took them out, and our military is great, but you have to have the right leadership running it. So the bottom line is that it can be nasty, but it's only going to get worse. If I don't win, it's only going to get worse. It's going to get really...
Well, apparently I am indeed evil.
In 1929 type depressions. And we have to make sure that this person doesn't get in. This is far worse than Biden. That was if you think of it, that was an overthrow of a president.
Radical Larry says, I'm a bad person and everything that I do in a political sense is selfish and evil.
He walked in and some of the others, and they say, we want you out. He said, I'm not going to get out.
We don't know who he is. It's some crypto dude.
But still, he had the right to run, and they lived.
Farka?
In a sense, this was the first coup of an American president. And I think it's...
Wait, what?
Look, I don't say fair or not fair. He was very nice today. He called up to make sure I was okay. to make sure that, do I have any suggestions or anything? We do need more people on my detail because we have 50, 60,000 people showing up to events, and other people don't have that. But he couldn't have been.
I've had people come up to me and be like, "Do you shred?"
Really?
I'm like, "I wish. That's what I really wanted to be, a rock
They threw him
star."
overboard, and she got no votes. She got no votes. But she'd be very bad for the country. We have to save our country. We can't have a Marxist communist president because that's not what it's all about. So we're going to do it, and we're going to make our country greater than ever before. And you're going to be happy, and you're going to love your crypto. And
you're going to love your crypto.
You're happy. So I know what makes you happy. Nothing else but crypto.
Yeah, I mean, when the Twitter Spaces was officially announced and that you put the tweet out, a lot of people were like, "Well, who's this Farouk guy?" And obviously, a lot of people started digging into this Farouk guy, and the main reply that was that I'm just this crypto bro. But you know what, Mr. President, I am a proud crypto bro. And it seems like you're starting to become one of us, if not already.
Oh my God, he kind of sounds like Matt Bender
in the space. I mean, we have
with his cadence and shit,
and Eric on the Twitter Spaces right now. Eric
this is Matt Bender's Wario.
Will be joining us a little later on this programming, but get into crypto now, because I already see the people on Twitter Spaces really eager to hear you talk about this. At the recent Bitcoin conference, you mentioned that, and I quote, "America should be the crypto capital of the world." Yeah. That was a big statement, and I believe the correct one. So why is it not right now?
Well, I think it will be right now. Right now you have a very hostile SEC. I guess you'd have to say, I don't know, when you say administration.
Oh, Magina.
Biden, or do you call it Harris? Nobody really knows what to call it, but maybe we'll say a combination of both. But they've been very hostile toward crypto, toward all of it, and extremely hostile, like nobody can believe.
They should be hostile.
That's why my attitude is different. If we don't do it, China's going to do it. China's doing it anyway.
They are.
But if we don't do it, we're not going to be the biggest, and we have to be the biggest and the best. And when you look at values, and when you add it all up, the value of this whole thing is bigger than they were.
That Ted Cruz.
20 corporations and all of this, the numbers are just gigantic. It suffers from some credibility lapses. I mean, some things were done or not done, but it's very young and very growing. And if we don't do it, China's going to do it. If we don't do it, other countries are going to do it. A lot of countries would like to be in a position. We have the advantage because it's us. But you have a big advantage because it's me, because I do believe in it. I also know a lot of friends that are really into it. And my kids, Barron knows so much about this.
Right.
Prometheus. Barron knows so much about this.
He talks about his wallet. He's got 4 wallets or something. And I'm saying, what is a wallet? Explain this to me.
What is a wallet?
So inside out. And Eric and Don know it so well.
They do.
It's almost like
Trude. What's up, my friend?
But I have a lot of respect for them. They've shown great judgment.
Barron he had to explain what a wallet is to this genius business motherfucker over here.
Sooner than most people. It's sort of like it's a fledgling business, and yet it's a massive business. But it has a chance to really be something special. And when I do things, I notice a lot of.
Listen, if I could go back in time to a point in my life, I would go back to when I started college, and I would get a really nice computer, and I would start streaming it's back then.
It's a fledgling compared to what it will be.
And I'd mine Bitcoin, and I'd be.
Aaron is using his wallet similar to me.
Very, very rich right now.
How to use it? I send her 1 ETH every Christmas, 1 ETH every birthday, and same for my little Zoomer brother, who probably isn't Barron's age category. So, has
Amazon stock would be a smart bet.
From your children had an impact on you?
Well, it makes it easier, and it's sort of like a language. I have a beautiful
Apple in 2007.
His daughter, and she is Arabella. She speaks.
Even Apple after it flopped in 2003.
Children, 2 great young boys. They speak perfect Chinese. They learn.
He can't dump his True Social stock.
And she was from China, and she would teach Arabella. When President Xi was here, President Xi couldn't believe it. She walked up to him and had a perfect conversation. And I said, "So how did she do?" He said, "As good as any 10-year-old girl in Beijing."
He said he wasn't going to sell it, and it went up So if he sells it, it'll be stock manipulation.
If you
So, I mean, let him sell it on Friday.
Japan or any language,
Right.
it's not that easy to
But
do.
if he does, I mean, that's an SEC violation.
Natural. So it's a little bit like that, I think, with crypto. Now, I think crypto's a lot easier,
Right.
if you want to know that. But there is a learning curve, and yeah, my kids really understand.
Maybe that's what he's gonna do. It's so close to the election. He just yell election interference.
And I was like, whoa, okay, this is really.
Fred,
We're about
now that I think about it,
crypto endeavors, and,
you guys may be right.
which is really cool. I just came back from Asia. I was at the Korea Blockchain Week and at WebEx in Japan, and over there, at the moment, everybody's in Singapore tuning live to listen to us live on Space.
Why wouldn't he right here before the election?
In the East is that crypto is.
You can't prosecute me. I'm running for president.
Whereas when I come here and in Canada and North, it feels like I'm being taken aback. So the question I have for you, following up on what I was asking earlier, is why is it so important for America to lead in cryptocurrency adoption and innovation?
Well, it's crypto.
Dustin knows a lot more about stocks and shit than I do.
AI, speaking of an interesting future, it needs tremendous.
I mean, whenever he sells, the company crashes.
Never
SEC investigation, right?
If you take all of the electricity coming out of the U.S., in order to be dominant in AI, you need twice that amount just for this one thing. Who would think that? You need twice the electricity.
Let me know when we should put the kibosh on this.
Started. I mean, you have to be if you're the U.S.
I think we've heard the interesting part.
Left in the dust. And China's already.
What the fuck is this?
And they want to build them for the AI, and it's very important. But you need tremendous electric, and in this country, because of our strong environmental impact statement.
Oh yeah, Prometheus, you're probably
China
right.
doesn't have those problems. They don't do them. They just build. They said build over here,
Right.
build over there. With us, you have to go through years. But
Huh?
it's possible to create tremendous amounts of electricity very rapidly. But people don't know that. People don't know that you need double the electricity of what we already have. So you want to get in, whether it's crypto or AI or other things that are coming along. And
Do we have guardsmen overseas?
we want to have a great country. We want to.
That would be a surprise to me.
We're making things now. We're starting, and it started under my administration.
Guardsmen are usually deployed to
Never even
put up sandbags when there's going to be a flood and
leading the
shit.
pack in so many ways. One of the things I'm very proud of.
Ida, good evening.
We were getting lapped in space.
This is apparently what's going on right now. This is the interview that's happening.
Leader in space.
This dude is the Farouk dude that
Fantastic job.
is hosting.
Endorsed me for
That's
president.
Trump.
So strong.
Maybe this is Wolfie.
But he is doing an amazing job with respect to space.
Yeah, they're weekend warriors called up for states of emergency.
Rockets sent up throughout the world.
They'll be called in to
To tell me something.
back up the police
But at least we're using his.
at times of unrest.
We're definitely using his platform to do so, and I'm sure there's a reason for that. So, to create this future we're talking about, right? Like, there's a lot of American entrepreneurs, founders in crypto that need to sadly leave the country because it feels like at times we're being treated like we're not really welcome to build companies here. The CEO of our company over at Rug Radio was actually debanked.
What does this? What the fuck does this mean?
Later. Do you think it's important for America to have a legal framework for crypto so that businesses can thrive and survive here?
I do, and they should have certain.
No, they absolutely would
maybe-
riot and burn cities.
A bad thing to say, but no, it can't be totally freewheeling. And
That's kind of a cool picture.
some of the big crypto people, they want safeguards. They want safeguards,
Sound off.
but it's a very hostile environment.
Oh, Sound of Freedom.
And the SEC has been
Sound of Freedom. What's up, my friend?
after people. And I think, frankly, since they heard I was involved, they've treated people much better.
I'm voting for the guy who keeps getting shot at.
Maybe they view it as us, but people that were under serious investigation for having done nothing wrong are all of a sudden.
Who's Brock? He's kind of handsome.
It's because they see, this is a very big market. This is a very powerful
Yeah,
market.
very.
I'm gonna give you my info, Brock.
And I helped if I helped. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. But the SEC has been unbelievably hostile. The one thing you know is that if for some reason bad things happen, and
That's
we don't
cute.
win the election,
No one has told me to turn this off yet.
and that are free as a bird right now, and people that weren't being looked at in the crypto world, they will be living in hell because it'll start the day after the election if they win. And I view it.
Hang up on him. I've been saying, like, Simp, that was. I wish I could refund points, guys. I wish I could refund points. I was like, if you want me to, like, turn this off, because, like, after he got done talking about the assassination attempt, I was done with him. I don't know about you guys. That's why I was leaving it up to the chat. Oh, God. So I did not prepare a show for tonight because I've been stupid fucking busy. But I've got all kinds of clips we're going to watch. Do you want to start with the Secret Service? The acting Secret Service director talking about the Trump assassination.
This moment, but it requires all of us to be able to have good conversations and make sure that we're getting the Secret Service where it needs to be. And I'm confident that we will achieve that because we don't have an alternative. Success, we have to have it every day. We cannot have failures. And in order to do that, we're going to have some hard conversations with Congress, and we're going to achieve that.
Last question.
Our folks are rising to this moment.
That is... Oh, when it says his son's cryptocurrency business, it means Barron. I didn't even think about... Do you think Barron's going to speak? That was the acting Secret Service director. And I don't even know what his name was. Yeah, they didn't font him. Ronald Rowe Jr. He looks like Buzz. I love this face he's making right there. He looks very disappointed in himself. You guys feel that is a man who's felt some attrition, right? Like he's had to look deep inside himself and reflect over the last 24 hours. Snicks, good evening. Oh wait, does he look like Biff Tannen from Back to the Future? McFly. Oh god damn. He looks sad though, like the bit lip and everything. A 23-year-old playing the role, but he's very baby faced. He kind of looks like Drew. Terry, good evening. But like I could see it, like, right? So like he would totally could be on a high school football team. He's like a linebacker. He's like the dumb linebacker that's friends with all the popular kids because they're on the football team together, right? Simba, honestly, you didn't miss it. We listened to Trump. He's launching Barron's crypto. I'm not shitting on line, but they are the exactly they are. I don't know how to say. I don't watch fucking Sporty Ball, but I know enough of like of the sports. Football is my favorite. I like football the most, and I've probably played the most football other than golf. I play a lot of golf to this day, but I probably played the most football on video games. I used to play a lot of Madden and shit, so I know how the game works. I know, what the linemen do and everything. I'm not, like, stupid about it. So if I sit down and watch a game with a friend, like, I don't know who the fucking players are and shit, but, like, I know what's going on. I'm not, like, basketball, like, fucking, I watched some basketball when I was staying with Chip a few, God, it's been about a year ago. And, it's been less than a year because I don't even play basketball yet. But, like, that's a completely different game now. Holy shit. Like, it is nothing like the basketball I used to watch when I was a kid. What the fuck? Like, they don't play defense. They just shoot all the fucking time. It's kind of cool. They're scoring like 170 points. Like one team in a game is like, what? Barron's crypto scam. That's what's hilarious to me. Let's see if we got any more Trump news we want to talk about. Let's get the rundown of the attempted assassin. He appeared in court today. There was a press conference from the sheriff's office earlier.
Live now from Fox. I'm your host, Carla Hara. We are going to to speak on the top story of the day, the FBI's investigation into what they're calling the second attempted assassination against former President Donald Trump. Now, all of that went down in West Palm Beach County, Florida, at the Trump International Golf Course. But the suspect actually was caught in Martin County. So to discuss all of this, how all of those events went down, I'd like to bring onto the program now Sheriff William Snyder with the Martin County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Snyder, we appreciate your time. I know it's been very busy these past couple of days, but walk us through all of these events from the moment that you heard that there was a second attempted assassination to the moment that your deputies caught up to that suspect.
Sure, good evening, Corral. This all started yesterday, Sunday, at 1:55 p.m. We first got a notice from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. We got a bolo, be on the lookout. And they gave us the vehicle and a vehicle.
Bolo tie.
Initially, the report was that a suspect had fired at President Trump. Now we know since then that actually wasn't the case, but we went on that information.
I was in Soup's chat earlier, and he had a magnificent bolo tie on.
Did what we call flooding the zone. We put about 30 cars up on the interstate looking. Our helicopter went airborne. And ultimately, one of our marked units saw the suspect vehicle, matched the tag, fell in behind it, advised on the radio, followed it for right at 2 miles, after which we had enough of our other vehicles, our heavy-duty pickup trucks with big bumpers, and we actually crowded the vehicle off the interstate to prevent a chase. And then really after that,
I thought we knew that the shooter never fired.
He complied to all of our directives, and he was taken into custody and held until the FBI and Secret Service responded out to the interstate.
Now, we heard earlier today a press conference.
People have said that this was a failure of the Secret Service, but I don't see how. It seems like the Secret Service did exactly what they're supposed to. I don't. How is it a failure? He didn't even get a shot off. He ran away. Local law enforcement got him. He's in cuffs. What's the deal?
Conference featuring FBI agents, the Secret Service, and also local Palm Beach County law enforcement. The FBI saying that the suspect there, Ruth, he invoked his right to an attorney and is not speaking to anybody. But tell me, did your deputies, were they able to get anything out of this suspect? How was he acting when he was apprehended?
I got out to the scene right after he was called out of the car. It took me a little while to get up to it. We had stopped I-95 northbound. It was hard to get to the stop.
Yeah, he is slurring.
He never made a statement to us. We were very careful. First of all,
he'd be nervous.
So we had to be careful. We didn't ask him any questions, and he did not blurt anything out. We had a unit, one of my patrol deputies had a body-worn camera and actually kept it on him the entire time. So we have the whole event is on record, and he really
because he's a wino and he wasn't expecting to be
saw that he wasn't
on the national news.
What was this about? I knew he knew what time it was, and it was time that he was going to jail.
It's hammer time.
Now, speaking on the fact that this incident happened in Palm Beach County, but he was captured in Martin County, I want you to talk to us a little bit about the effective communication between both of your agencies. And I mean, how quick was it until Palm Beach got a hold of you and then your sheriff's deputies found the suspect, took him into custody? How did that work?
Well, it works. It's seamless. First of all, we have a great advantage. We work very closely with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. We're actually in a task force with them. They were sending us real-time data. So we knew something had happened. We didn't know at first that he would be headed.
I think he is, because his eyes are glassy.
Information that he was on.
Just me. Good evening.
he was able to get out of Palm Beach County. We're the border county. And she got into.
Do we have body camera already?
About the mile marker, about 110. We picked him up, and then at the 112, we forced him off the road and made the stop.
Is that the end of it? What?
So here on your screen, we do have a still image of that suspect when he was finally taken into custody there. Sheriff Snyder, another thing that's being commended right now is really the help from the witnesses that were on the scene down there at the golf course. I mean, they took a picture of the car, the license plate. They were able to identify this suspect. What more do you know about the efforts from these witnesses and really how much it helped aiding you guys and also Palm Beach County to kind of, you know, swiftly capture the suspect?
Well, I can tell you this. If all they would have had was the interchange between the Secret Service and the suspect, and had he gotten out of there like he did, but there was no witness who took a picture, we may still be looking for that fellow. But we had...
Yeah, because you're fucking stupid.
Sheriff's office, a fabulous sheriff's office, gave us that...
I don't know. I kind of wish he got away.
...we were looking for. So that witness really deserves the lion's share of the credit. And
yeah, fuck that narc.
Done the right thing, used his head, snapped that picture, then came out to the interstate and identified...
Oh, here we go. Here's the body camera footage.
A whole different scenario tonight.
Here on the screen, some body cam footage of when that suspect was caught. Sheriff Snyder, let's talk about the investigation going forward. I know that the FBI is taking the lead in this, but what have they asked of the Martin County Sheriff's Office with this case as it moves forward?
All that we did was done here on the interstate. We made the apprehension. We made sure that if he made any statements, we would have recorded them. We will write a report detailing what we did. Our flatbed, our sheriff's office truck towed it back or put it on a flatbed for the FBI, brought it to their facility in Palm Beach County, and really that will be the end of it. President Trump has invited my deputies that made the apprehension to Mar-a-Lago to thank them tomorrow. I pretty much think that will be the end of it for us.
Finally, Sheriff Snyder, a question that I have here, as someone that has been down there with the Sheriff's Department involved with law enforcement throughout several years, tell me, does this situation that...
So it's only 30 fucking seconds.
...where the Martin County Sheriff's Office stepped in to capture the person suspected of committing an attempted assassination against a former president, how does this compare with some other cases that you've been involved with in the past?
I've been in this industry 52
Come on, BBC.
And I will tell you without equivocation, this was the biggest apprehension I have ever been part of. I mean, if you think about it, here's a man who was about to assassinate the former president of the United States. And the second time the president...
Oh, my God.
In case he wasn't fired on, but he was the first time and was hit. I am relieved personally that we have him. And you know what? I'm really glad for President Trump. He doesn't have to worry. Is this guy out there?
Oh shit, hold on.
He can get back to his golf game, get back to running for office.
That is golf game.
Know that the man who would have ended his life was apprehended in the adjoining county to where he lives.
DJ Dub.
And we are learning new information from that court appearance today. The suspect on former President Trump laughed and smiled ahead of his first court appearance.
Hell yeah.
In Florida. Ryan Wesley Ruth, wearing all jail scrubs and shackles on his wrists and ankles, walked into court and smiled and laughed about 3 to 4 times.
Love it.
As he was speaking to his court-appointed attorney before the hearing began. No cameras were permitted inside the federal court hearing in West Palm Beach, Florida, regarding charges of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. But this is the new
obliterated
showcasing to you here on Live Now from Fox. We're also being told
I would not have used the word obliterate if I was writing that script.
From the FBI and Secret Service on this matter. And of course, we will be bringing it to you live, raw, and unfiltered on Live Now from Fox. The suspect appeared
Who's this motherfucker think he is? The Troll Patrol?
Judged during the
live, raw, and unfiltered.
He will be formally arraigned on September 30th. Fox News is told additional federal charges are possible. The initial charges announced Monday will keep the suspect in custody. The judge also
thinks he's gonna be throwing up a fucking content warning.
Or if he needed a public defender. The suspect said he does not have enough.
He is no Chris Christie.
The judge said he makes about $3,000 a month, has zero savings, and owns zero.
Really? It said obliterated in the court papers?
That he has 2 trucks in Hawaii worth about $1,000 each, partially supports his 25-year-old son, and does not own any jewelry there.
I would think, you know, sawed off, sawed down, piled off, something like that. Wait a minute, I don't have notes. What? I don't feel like watching that fucking press conference. No, I don't want to. Fuck CNN. I did not prepare a show tonight. So we're winging it. But like shows where I wing it actually usually turn out pretty good. I can't complain. Oh, you're probably gonna get an ad soon. Oh, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. If you're watching on Twitch, we're gonna go ahead and get your 3-minute ad out of the way. That way nobody misses any content. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Apparently we got a pipeline fire. That's gonna be fun. A woman with a immigrant woman attacked a cop. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, we got some good shit. Beaches closed due to medical waste. What the fuck is that shit? I saw that one earlier. Sao Paulo mayoral candidate injured after his rival hits him with a chair. Yes! Yes! Now that's content. Basically what this show is me bringing you like my custom algorithm from all these fucking sources where I get these crazy ass stories. Vance doesn't break away from fall. I'm tired of talking about that shit. Wait, the headline makes it seem like J.D. Vance went, cut it out. I watched this crazy ass. I go down these weird rabbits like, not just on the show. I watch fucking like body cam footage, cop chases and shit in my spare time. And I watched the wildest ass. It was like some kind of true crime YouTube channel, and it was this story of this dude who was living with this other guy, and apparently they were both meth heads, and the dude had to keep away from his daughter because he was diddling her, and then like she turned 18 and she came to live with him, and like she was fucking both of these fucking meth heads, her dad and this other dude, and the dad ends up killing the dude over the fucking like, it's some real wild ass shit. And the whole like, I felt sorry for the dude's mom, but also like she seemed like she knew about some crazy shit going on. She was a wild woman back in the day. Yes, it was very what the fuck. And like people in the jail, they tested because like it was the whole thing, right? It was the body cam all the way through. They had the investigation cameras. They had what happened in the courts, and there was testimony from people that were in jail with her that was like, she's in love with her dad. She is turned on by her dad. It's really fucked up, and she doesn't see anything wrong with it. And I'm like, holy shit! Are the commercials over? I think they are. Get back to the bullshit. Oh, let's do one thing about the. I didn't want to do the. The pets in Ohio anymore. Let's just do this one here, because apparently this is good shit. The Attorney General, the Republican Attorney General on CNN got pressed. Went on CNN and got pressed by the anger.
In Springfield, Ohio, 6 days after.
Khalid Lee, what's up, my friend? Thank you for being a freaking follower.
The presidential debate stage, claiming without evidence that Haitian immigrants there were eating pets. 2 colleges in Springfield shut their campuses down today, classes going remote. Wittenberg University said among the threats were 2 emails targeting Haitians. The city canceled its annual Arts and Culture Festival. Bomb threats last week also forced the closure of City Hall, lockdown of some hospitals, a few schools at one point evacuated, and Donald Trump's vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance, Ohio's junior senator, is defending.
Here goes this call.
Even though it's false.
The American media totally ignored this stuff until Donald Trump and I started talking about cat memes. If I have to create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American
holiday,
then that's what I'm going to do.
Vance said later by creating a story, he meant that he's creating media focus on the issue. His refusal to stop repeating the falsehood flouts requests from local leaders, including the Republican governor of the state.
There's a lot of garbage on the internet.
Did nobody ban him?
You know, this is a piece of garbage that was simply not true. There's no evidence of this at all. I think these discussions about Haitians eating dogs and cats and other things needs to stop. These people are.
You didn't have to. I will let him stay.
Want to work, and they are in fact working. And when you talk to the employers, what the employers tell you is, you know, we don't know what we would do without them.
It would be helpful if they understood the weight of their words and how they could.
But I left it up to you guys, the mods.
Bring peace with the words that you're saying about communities like ours instead of unrest.
Joining us now is the Attorney General of Ohio, Republican Dave Yost.
That was bannable.
Attorney General, it is the 5th day of these bomb threats.
Politically's like, I so wish I was on Twitch so I could have banned him.
Give us an update on what's being done to investigate the bomb threats?
Yeah, 2/3 right was like, I was like, why'd you have to say the dirty
update? They all
bring up a race.
That we don't know where these are coming from right now. The investigation is continuing and they're following the leads.
How concerned are you about the bomb threats?
Well, I'm very concerned. Look, in Ohio, a bomb threat, particularly one that disrupts something like a school, is a very serious crime. It's a felony. And my message is, whoever's responsible, knock it off. You could go to prison on this.
Well, that's going to work.
At the same token, I want to emphasize that there are people out there that want to divide us. I was swatted earlier this year, and the FBI recently indicted some people from Romania on that. They from across the world were instigating a law enforcement response against me and my family. So let's understand what there really is no evidence of, which is that these bomb threats are coming domestically. They might not. That's why we have investigations.
Do you see a link between the baseless rhetoric about Haitians eating pets and the bomb threats?
Look, mere words never justify a criminal act. Never. And responsibility lies with the individual who's making the bomb threat or committing the criminal act.
So you've been tweeting about this controversy, giving credence.
People don't have a responsibility for the rhetoric.
Quite a lot of investigation and unsubstantiated allegation that Haitian migrants are eating people's pets in Springfield, as well as waterfowl in public places there. And local authorities have investigated both, and they have found nothing to support that. The mayor says this is the case. Do you think the mayor is lying?
No, my comment, and by the way, most of my tweets have been about the impact, the real impacts on this town. But my tweet was about the media's disregard of citizen interactions, citizen reports with their government. But look,
which ones are you talking about specifically? Because there actually haven't been that many when it comes to reports to law enforcement. Can you be a little more specific?
I'm talking about several videotaped comments that were made by citizens regarding a variety of things going on in Springfield. And I'm talking about a recorded police call that I've heard, and I'm sure you have as well, about an eyewitness. We also have an ODNR investigation where the reporting party had a vehicle description and a partial license plate. Now, that is not enough to make a case. I
don't think that's his name, is it?
Bottom line is these small events, the ducks are not the issue.
The ducks.
There were
it doesn't even say his name.
Kids in that school last year that didn't speak English, that required an ESL teacher, that required additional translation. To this year, there are more than well over 500. It's nearly quadrupled.
Oh my God, 500 kids.
The impact on housing.
Dave Yost.
This community, any community, cannot sustain an increase of 30% of their population in a couple of years.
No, I think those are very important questions that you bring up. I do just want to say the ODNR call, which was referred by the city, another ODNR call, and I think the videotape statements that you're referring to are the ones before City Hall. The City Hall statements, no one talked about seeing something firsthand. I just want to be very clear about that. ODNR and the city investigated the calls they got, which were 2 total, and they did not find anything. So we just have to be very clear about what they found and what they didn't. You have tweeted about this and perpetuated this, and so let me ask you about this, because there is a strain on the resources there. That's very clear, and Governor DeWine has made that so clear. So let me ask you, why not have just a serious conversation about the strains on those public resources instead of backing unsubstantiated claims when you are supposed to be a very serious law enforcement individual?
Implying, of course, that you think I'm not.
You're not serious.
Beside the point, and the reason for this interview is because I'm trying desperately to bring attention to the very serious issues. That's mostly what I've been talking about. You're the one that's taking one tweet and trying to make a national news story out of it. How much time have we spent on this?
You're on the national news.
Well, it's not my tweet, sir. It's your tweet.
Questions that ought to be answered. It's the big questions that ought to be answered. The impact on these, on the schools, on the people, on the economy, on the health care. Those are the things we ought to be talking about. And I would love to come on again and talk with you about those things. I know you're running short on time.
No, so let's talk about those things.
For me, bitch.
Important.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. We didn't get to talk about those things. They are very important. I did not know who the editor-in-chief of the National Review was until today. I'm betting a lot of people did not know who the editor-in-chief of the National Review was until today. He was on with Megyn Kelly. And buckle up for this one. This is Rich Lowry, the chief editor of the National Review.
But finally, he said something to the effect of, look, if we have to create stories in order to bring attention to what's happening, the media, he admits they made it up, right? As opposed to, and if you listen to the full clip, he says, by drawing attention to what's happening on the ground, it's just...
Probably not, Flash.
Goes online. You don't hate the media enough. Go ahead.
You remember Alternative Facts with Kellyanne? They did the same thing. She wasn't saying you make up fictions and pretend they're facts. You bring other facts to bear in the debate that are being ignored. And that's what he was saying. And I think it was in that interview where Dana Bash says, the police have gone through 11 months of recordings of calls, and they've only found 2 Springfield residents calling to complain about Haitian migrants taking geese from ponds. Only 2 calls. And I think one lesson in this whole story, people don't care about geese. People really hate geese. They all things considered.
Yes, we can dim. Dougie.
And that's what he was saying. And I think it was in that interview where Dana Bash says, the police have gone through 11 months of recordings of calls, and they've only found 2 Springfield residents calling to complain about Haitian migrants taking geese from ponds. Only 2 calls. And I think one lesson in this whole story, people don't care about geese. People really hate geese. They all things considered, I think people would prefer Haitian migrants to come and take the geese off the golf course, right? So it's pets, it's the cats and dogs that's become the standard. Geese clearly don't.
How does Megyn Kelly not say something about that? As a broadcaster, you're just going to ignore that. And in this day and age, yes, you know it's going viral. So why don't you fucking condemn that motherfucker right there on the spot? Megyn? I would have been like, wait a minute, what did you just say? Hold on, let's run that back. Don't say it again, sir. We've heard it enough. Oh, he deserves far more than a titty slap for that one. Megyn definitely deserves a titty slap. Wow. All right, we're going to go to... We're still doing politics here. Though this may be borderline a crime. I don't know what kind of laws they have in Sao Paulo. This was a debate between Sao Paulo mayoral candidates.
Você atravessou o debate esses dias para me dar tapa e falou que você queria ter feito. Você não é homem nem para fazer isso. Você não é homem. Não, Datena. Olha. Vai. Não.
Why'd you pause it? That's the best part.
Chega, teu caralho. Chega. Você pode se retirar, por favor? Candidato Datena, não é possível a gente continuar o programa depois do que aconteceu, infelizmente.
Fala Brasil, fala São Paulo. Já vamos receber alta aqui agora.
Let's run it back. This is the mayoral debate in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The man that you see come onto the camera is his debate opponent, one of the candidates for Sao Paulo mayor.
Você atravessou o debate esses dias para me dar um tapa e falou que você queria ter feito. Você não é homem nem para fazer isso. Você não é homem. Não, tá tendo. Olha. Vai. Não.
Okay. So what he said was, you cross the debate these days to slap me.
Falou que você queria ter feito. Você não é homem nem para.
And you said you should have done it. You're not even a man enough to do it. You're not even man enough to do it.
Para fazer isso. Você não é homem.
Não, tá tendo. Olha.
Vai.
Não.
Smacks with a chair.
Chega, teu do caralho. Chega. Você pode se retirar, por favor? Candidato da tenda.
Amazing.
Depois do que aconteceu, infelizmente.
Fala Brasil. Fala.
Hello Brazil, hello Sao Paulo. I'll be discharged from the Ciroa Labanes Library. We'll move on. It was just a bump. Let's get on with it.
O jogo foi só um esbarrão. Vamos pra cima.
Prometheus supports the chair user candidate. Was Warlord here? He's got a fractured rib and a bruised finger. Fractured rib and a bruised finger. I'm amazed we haven't seen a chair being pulled out in our politics. We're almost there, surely. Shooting. Woman attacks a cop. Let's do, trying to make sure we don't have any more politics. I don't think we do. I was going to do the whole Jill Stein thing. I'm over it now. Oh, also, I was totally going to get into bird flu. We have a case in Missouri that may be human-to-human transmission because scientists cannot figure out how this dude got sick. He had no contact with livestock, and that's fucking scary. That's fucking scary, and I wanted to talk about it. But we have, he ate a rat. Have you confirmed, like, is that a thing? Like, did he actually do it? He booped a chicken. Or are you just throwing shit out there? Did they find out, like, the last couple of days and when I haven't been looking at the story? Because, like, you got to dig for that shit. Boofed. Boofed the chicken. Wait a minute. Are you guys being serious? Someone stuck a chicken in his ass. Or are you making a joke because people go to the hospital and they're like, I don't know how it got in my ass. You could. I thought it was more than 2 raccoons. I thought it was like 3 or 4. Probably get a couple of chickens. No, you're fucking. You're. Remember, you can't gaslight me. The whole chat can't do it because I'll believe it. Beathead. Beathead, I don't know what you mean by that because I sit here, I do the most absurd news, politics, and current events on the internet nightly. I am high. We need to get a little more high. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. Raccoon attacked a chicken. Then he put the raccoon up his ass like a fucked up turducken. Damn, MILF. You just saw me take a bong rip. Do I need to look it up that this dude put a chicken up his ass and that's how he got the bird flu? Or are you fucking with me? Because I do the most absurd news on the internet nightly, and I can tell you for a fact, I believe a guy stuck a chicken up his ass. It's bound to... RFK has probably stuck a chicken up his ass. It's bound to have happened at least a few times. And because, as I said, I didn't read the story the last couple of days, there could have been that development that, oh, we found out he got the bird flu because he stuck a chicken up his ass. I hope that if before he stuck the chicken up his ass, he took this pertinent advice.
Life is too short to walk this earth for a crusty asshole. Wash your ass.
You think they plucked the chicken first? Okay, if you didn't pluck the chicken, you'd have to lube it up with something, right? Because there's no way you could just boop. Oh, is that like a Reddit story or something that I missed out on? It's a meme that I didn't see. Pin feathers are sure. I'm here in the real world covering the real news every night. And I absolutely believe a dude stuck a chicken up his ass. It's bound to have happened. Alright, we're going to do crime stories now, so if that's not your thing, give us like 20 minutes. We're going to do Live Music Monday on Twitch. Probably about the top of the hour. We're going to do the VMA performances from this past week. And you can watch me be a boomer because I fucking don't know anybody that performed. Let's kick it off with a woman ambushing the cops. Oh God, yes. Only a trooper was wounded during this incident. Whoa! She just pulled up and put a bullet in the car. Mama Az, Nathan, good evening. He is taking cover behind he is abandoned the vehicle, gotten out, taking cover behind it, trying to return fire. Go back. I want like vehicle pulls up here in just a second, but we don't really get a good look at it before they switch to the other camera angle. You can see him go back there and come back around. I want to know, did she get back in the... She. Is it a she? Do we know it's a she? Was that in the headline? Did I say that? I think I have a woman ambushing the cops, but I don't think this is it. Yeah, that's a different story. I don't know if this is a woman or not.
I'm shot!
Oh, hell yeah. Now we're on the body cam.
Wait, come here. You see what the fuck happened or what? What can I help you with? Okay, tighten that lamp. Yeah. Hold on, stop. I messed up. My name is... That guy down there? Yeah, she's down. My wife has got a gun. Son of a bitch, ambush me! My wife has got a gun.
My wife has got a gun. This is such an American thing.
Don't get your gun out. Do not get your gun out right now. Don't. Sorry. No, he's shot. Hands up.
Did he take his camera off? No, I don't think this was. This is not a woman. I don't think. I'm not sure we know at this point, Prometheus. I've got a different story about a woman attacking the cops.
I-27, is that I-76 in Harlan?
I don't think it's that high just because like only 20 something % of the population owns like 90 something % of the guns.
On my way.
But it's too high of a percentage.
David 27, I'm on scene.
Ash likes his guns.
Where is he? Come over. David 27, I gotta stop the gun on the ground. You got one citizen. I got a citizen pointing a gun at him.
40%.
Hey, put the gun away. Hey, are you a cop or what?
Are you a cop?
Hey,
That's a really nice fucking truck.
go for it. No, give me a check. I got it. Bitch, what's your problem? I got it. Are you done bleeding? You good? Okay. Stand back. Get him in cuffs. Okay. I got him. Get him in cuffs. Cover me. Gotcha. He's in custody.
Why is the suspect bleeding?
It's in my holster. What do you need? Check. You need to check. Okay, let me see. Check. I got him. Get my uniform off. I got him.
That was the cop that was ambushed. He got shot in the arm, apparently. Who fired on the suspect?
I'm checking him out. Make sure nobody else is hit, guys. Let me see. Okay, let's get my. Let me get your vest down. All right. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't think we know yet. I'll get the local news hit after we watch this.
27. I'm checking him out.
Because this happened on the 7th. They've just released the footage.
You're good. You got no shot there. Hey, let's go. You're good, bud. You're good. Where you shot at? Yeah, I'll take it. I'll handle shit here. I'll take you to the hospital. Go flip around. You want me to take you to the hospital? Yeah, take the hospital.
Still kind of go. Oh, yeah. A little late on the content warning there. I was trying to be safe. Gonna put it over his bloody hand. Because good Lord, I don't want you Twitch to take me down again. Wait a minute, did he ask him to take him to the hospital? Where's... Oh yeah, he had to turn around and go the other way. Okay. It's like you're just riding off and leaving him. What the fuck? I mean, cops are dumb, so.
And also, I'm sure the captain was like, we're going to need the search team call.
Yeah, take me to the hospital. Yeah, boss. Runs, gets his car, and just drives on off.
Yeah, we actually was calling him freaking happy to go there. Yeah, I was trying to get home now. Take that seat, go. Parts of the weekend. Don't crash. Never had to just walk over, take down, go get that stuff. Never help?
This is
Never help?
Colorado State Police.
Gotcha.
Outside of Westminster.
Number 127. I got our 23 on board. I'm en route to Denver Health.
Here's the find out the details.
And tonight we're learning new details about the moments leading up to a deadly shooting on U.S. earlier this month.
Denver 7's Christian
Oh, wait a minute. That's not the same one.
Camera video showing what officials call an ambush.
Colorado State Patrol is praising the quick action from Corporal Simcox, who was shot
on
September 7th. This happened on Highway 36. You see some of that in this newly released video. We do want to warn you, it's difficult to watch.
Oh, the suspect is dead.
By blurring images, there are some very challenging images on the video.
It's video that shows the moments a Colorado State trooper was approached by a gunman on the highway earlier this month.
We are in the center divider of Highway 36. We're facing east, and we're just west of Federal Boulevard. You'll see the truck approach. That is that black Chevrolet. You can see the crack in the windshield there.
Corporal Ty Simcox, a 16-year veteran of CSP, was in his patrol car working on paperwork when the suspect drove by and opened fire, striking him in the arm.
There's no question in my mind that he was ambushed.
The suspect, identified
clearly
Anthony de Santiago, stopped his truck in front of the trooper's vehicle, where CSP says he continued shooting at Simcox.
Corporal Simcox moves to the rear of his patrol car and actually to the right rear corner. And you'll see on video where he fires multiple rounds from his rifle in the direction of the suspect.
Oh, yeah, we didn't see that earlier.
Killing de Santiago.
Oh, wow.
I think Ty acted.
That's how he died.
I think he acted in accordance with his training. I, for one, and I hope all of you are certainly thankful for how it ended as far as his well-being.
CSP says Corporal Simcox got help from a bystander and another trooper who arrived on scene. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries and has since been released.
Corporal Simcox says that I feel extremely blessed that I'm alive, and I'm very thankful for the support and prayers from everyone.
The motive is still unclear, but CSP believes Corporal Simcox was a, quote, target of opportunity. They believe the gunman saw a patrol car and wanted to take shots at it. Reporting in
But just for the hell of it?
Denver 7.
Surely it's a gang thing and they want to take a pig out as a badge of honor, right? Flash, I wouldn't have even thought about that. Yeah, that's something you probably have to be, trained on. I guess let's keep it in Colorado. Cops apparently killed a man. Oh no, hold on. Let's go with another cop ambush. This happened in Fairfax County, I would say Virginia. A woman tried to attack a cop with a knife. Ponder monkey.
Reston woman is dead and a police officer is recovering from his injuries after a welfare check at a Reston apartment building turned violent. Fairfax County police say their officers shot and killed that woman after she slashed the officer's face with a knife.
So this happened around 10 this morning inside the Reston Heights apartments, and that's on Sunrise Valley Drive. And as our Rafael Sanchez Cruz tells us, this was all prompted by a call for a mental health check.
It was a Prince William County medical provider who asked Fairfax County police to check on their patient who lived in this building. Fairfax County police say it's the second time within 24 hours that their officers have had to deal with the same woman.
I have an officer with a, looks like a laceration to his head that was cut by a knife.
Sky 9 captured the moment that a Fairfax County police officer was carried out on a stretcher after being slashed by a tenant on the 3rd floor of the Reston apartments.
It was a tenant that may have had mental issues, who would normally kind of go up and down the block and
Raven, good evening.
Kind of verbally abuse.
Ida.
After reviewing the video from the officer's body-worn camera, Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis says his officer who is...
That wasn't a couple days ago? Or do they just do this often?
When our police officer is attacked by a woman with a knife, he has to protect himself and the community from that type of unprovoked violent attack. And our officer was the victim of an unprovoked violent attack today.
Police say the officer fired multiple times.
We've interacted with her on a number of occasions this year. In fact, we interacted with her yesterday when she was yelling at a man who was walking his dog. We did not make an arrest because no crime had occurred.
Just last month, the fatal shooting inside the Gold's Gym next door rattled this neighborhood. Tenants like Marvin Somoza say although unrelated, the two incidents have them concerned.
You want to feel safe where you live, right? And so I think a lot of the tenants right now might be feeling unsafe.
Chief Davis says the body-worn camera footage will be released to the public. This case is now under investigation by the Commonwealth's attorney, as is protocol in all officer-involved shootings. In Reston, Rafael Sanchez Cruz, WUSA 9.
Well, damn. Go to Marietta. This is in California, I believe. Because this is a station we watch a lot for our car chases.
Breaking news out of Marietta. A man has been shot and critically wounded by an off-duty police officer.
For more on the circumstances that led up to the shooting and what witnesses saw, we go live to Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan. Rob?
Well, Marietta police say it happened around 9:15 this morning in this parking lot. A couple of witnesses telling us that an off-duty officer walked out of the gym and noticed two other men arguing in a couple of these parking spots here. That argument stemming from some kind of road rage incident. The off-duty cop walked up and tried to intervene. That's when apparently one of those men pulled out a replica firearm, and that off-duty officer opened fire.
He's moving.
Cell phone video showing the moments after a shooting in Marietta involving an off-duty Hemet police officer. Evidence markers indicating shell casings in a parking lot at the corner of Marietta Hot Springs and Margarita. The front window of one business shattered.
And I heard shots, pop, 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 pop,
Pop, pop, pop, pop, pop. But I thought it was the auto shop.
Pop, pop, pop.
Marguerite Walters was in the parking lot when it happened, her son shooting this video as they walked up to try to help the man who was shot. The man in the gray shirt is the off-duty police officer.
And I said, you know, I'm certified, can I please help? He said no at first, but then he let me, so I went over and just kind of assessed him, got his name. He wasn't able to talk. He was ashen gray, clammy.
It appears that the off-duty officer had witnessed a road rage incident that he was not involved in, and shortly after is when the officer-involved shooting occurred. Officers did locate a firearm at the scene, and the officer is cooperating with the investigation.
Marietta police say that firearm they recovered at the scene belonging to the man who the officer shot was actually fake. Details about the road rage incident are unclear, as is why the off-duty officer opened fire.
when we first...
Yeah, that doesn't seem legal at all.
And so you can't go around pointing guns at people. But at that point, the gunshots had already gone off.
Yet another example of how quickly road rage incidents can escalate, this time with someone who wasn't even involved.
If you want to cut in front of me, cut in front of me. I'm just going to put on brakes because it ain't worth it. Because nowadays, everybody carry a gun.
And at last check, the man who was shot was...
That was Clinically's assertion earlier.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
Hey, Mark Brown.
ABC7 content by clicking the subscribe.
I appreciate you and ABC7 content.
Download the ABC.
They bring us mini car chases that we really enjoy. Yeah, let's go to... I got a couple of stories out of New York City. They're going to piss you off about the cops.
Other developing story this morning, terrifying moments in a Brooklyn subway when a man with a knife attacks police officers and they respond with gunfire.
What a scene that played out underground. All of it started because the suspect allegedly didn't pay his subway fare.
Oh, yeah.
A police officer
That's a death sentence.
And 2 innocent bystanders were shot.
Eyewitness News reporter Phil Tate live at Brookdale University Hospital in Brownsville, where the officer is expected to be released today. Phil?
Yeah, Charlene, Mike, good morning. The officer, the suspect, as well as the 2 bystanders, they are recovering at local hospitals this morning. Now, we do know right now that the suspect, as well as the 49-year-old bystander, they are listed in critical condition this morning. But police tell us that this all unraveled when that suspect was just trying to beat the fare, and well, they went south from there. I want to get straight to some video right now. This was from around 3 yesterday at the Livonia Sutter Avenue L train station in Brown.
And to be fair, he did have a fake gun.
At the entrance, when officers saw the 37-year-old man that didn't pay the fare. When they approached him, he refused to stop and rather made verbal threats to the officers. Well, things only escalated from there. Now take a look at your screen as police say this is the knife the suspect pulled out as officers directed the suspect to drop the weapon.
I'll let you take a good look at it without my camera. It is a knife. I see you've played Knifey Spoony before.
Well, the confrontation moves onto a train cart that had just pulled into the station where police shoot the man after tasering him didn't work. While the bullets that flew inside the train cart struck 2 passengers. A 26-year-old woman grazed by a bullet, a 49-year-old man struck in the head, as well as the now wounded officer. Well, Chief of Department Madry hours ago describing some very tense moments.
The male jumps back off of the train onto the platform, and at one point he's advancing on one of the officers with his knife. The officer stands back, he draws his weapon, and then both officers at this point fire. I don't like to use that term friendly fire, but absolutely we believe at this time that our officers were the only ones who discharged weapons at this time.
Yes. You put people in danger.
Charges to be announced for the suspect who is recovering at Kings County Hospital. We are told that he is a career criminal with more than 20 arrests. As for the officer who is recovering here at...
Why did it...
We are waiting for him.
Okay. It auto-modded Fingers In from Ponder Monkey. That's just absurd. And I went in and lowered the tolerance for virtually everything. It worded it weird. It was like a little bit of moderation or less moderation. So I put a little bit of moderation on like aggressive hate speech, because apparently this is something new since I've been back on Twitch and I didn't know to set this. And that's why my channel didn't display that it was 18 plus. So I went in, checked, graphic violence and excessive alcohol and tobacco usage and all the good shit, right? The shit that you would want to see on the Troll Patrol. And I went through and set the moderation levels. The only one a little moderation for hate speech, abuse, and stuff like that. And then there was 5 other categories, and I'm less moderation, gender slurs and sexual innuendos and blah. I'm like, yes, less moderation, less moderation. Fingers in. Fingers in. Should I turn all the moderation off? Maybe less moderation for abuse and hate speech. Turn all the rest of them off and just leave it up to my actual mods. Because if you're not, and I said it to where, like, if you're not a follower for like 3 months, your messages are like 5 seconds delayed. And the mods can see it before it pops in. So, like, should I just leave it up to the mods? Yeah, that's why it's like if you haven't been a follower for months, it doesn't let you say shit automatically, and it gives the mods a chance to take care of it before it gets put on the screen. So then I can just take everything else off. Well, you go. Is that what we should do? Raven says no. But like it seems like it's more trouble than what it's worth. Like I'm not like we rarely ever get anybody try to be like overtly abusive. Everybody says nay, nay, nay. All right, the monkey filter will be turned completely off. No monkeys will be blocked in this chat.
To be released. We're live outside of Brookdale this morning. I'm Phil Tate, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Phil Tate. Did everybody see the tweet? The tweet that Thread shared or Flash shared from Eric Adams, where he really makes it sound like the cop was shot by the suspect. Earlier today, one of our officers was shot while protecting our subway system. I'm relieved to report he's in good condition now, and we have arrested the suspect who put so many lives in danger. I cannot thank these officers enough for their bravery. Community notes has actually turned out to be a really cool thing. I like it. Overall, sometimes they're a little off. The officer in question was shot by a fellow NYPD officer. NYPD officers also shot 2 bystanders and the fare evasion suspect. Oh, you all saw him. He had a knife. That's not all we got. A Brooklyn shelter worker. Let me repeat that again. A Brooklyn shelter worker was assaulted by the NYPD.
Investigation. He said he was just trying to do his job at a homeless shelter when he was repeatedly punched by police officers. Well, tonight, the city's police oversight agency is investigating. Our investigative reporter, Tim McNicholas, sat down exclusively with that worker and his lawyer and has video of this beating back from February. And we want to warn you, some may find the footage disturbing.
Surveillance video shows officers rush through a door, quickly push the shelter worker toward a wall, and 2 of them appear to repeatedly punch him as he drops to the ground.
Why?
The officers then arrested the man, Jason Salters, a shift supervisor for a nonprofit hired by the city's Department of Homeless Services, or DHS, to run the Renaissance Shelter in Crown Heights.
I was absolutely appalled.
Attorney Andrew Laufer is representing him in a lawsuit against the NYPD.
He's absolutely appalled.
Engaged in what is clearly excessive force outside any reasonable means.
Salter says the officers told him they wanted to search the facility for a domestic violence suspect who'd been staying at the shelter, but Salter says he couldn't let them in. According to a DHS report, while on speakerphone with Mr. Salters and the NYPD, a social services director for the city said the NYPD is not permitted to search the facility for the client if they are not in active pursuit, like a foot chase.
If they had had a judicial search warrant signed, they could have just entered the property without any type of issue.
But other DHS
they were legally not allowed to be there.
Officers can enter shelters with a document called an investigative card or iCard. The DHS report on the incident says the officers did present an iCard that day, but Salter says he called that social services director because he'd never even heard of that. Law enforcement experts
What the fuck is an iCard?
whether the officers should have been allowed in. The surveillance video raises serious questions.
What the fuck is an iCard? What? If that is not a signed warrant from a judge, how can that possibly be legal?
Questions.
The punches seemed unreasonable. Again, we need context, full context, but just judging from what we saw,
Like an ear guard for eyes.
reasonable.
Salter says he was taken to a hospital and eventually to NYPD Central Booking, where he says officers told him he'd be charged with obstruction and resisting arrest.
Bullshit!
The day after the beating, he was released with no charges. The NYPD and the Department of Social and Homeless Services say they won't comment on the February 5th incident due to pending litigation. Maurice.
Tim, Salters took quite a beating there. I mean, how's he doing? Any injuries?
He says he does have injuries and he has some anxiety because of all this, and you're going to hear his story in his own words tonight at 11 in our exclusive interview with him. Maurice.
Okay, looking forward to that. Tim, thanks so much. And our investigative team was alerted to this story.
I wish
if you have something.
I wish it was 11 o'clock already so we could hear the interview with him. Watch it tomorrow. Did everyone see Flash's iCard? Sent me. I almost clicked on it because I was going to see, like, oh, what does an iCard entail? I thought I was getting useful information. It was the Apple Store. Abattoir, good evening. Yeah, hopefully the man gets a good little payout. That is the one good thing that comes from this. Go to LA where a suspect was shot by police. Oh, I'm sorry, Thur. Oh my god. My apologies. My apologies. I think I attributed something Flash said to you earlier, didn't I? It's not even the same color green, though. And I see your avatar. It's absurd. It's absurd. Because, like, I don't, like, you guys can't see your guys' avatars, but I see your avatars on my screen. So I see the kitties on you. Or one could be like a fox or a gremlin. I can't really see. Could be a little chihuahua. Cause it's really fucking small. Oh, let's go ahead and take the ad break and get it out of the way. It's bugging the shit out of me right now. I am dumber than hell. You're watching on Twitch. We got so much more to go. Suspect shot by police. A woman had an immigrant in her car. Fucking Texas medical schools had all kinds of unclaimed dead bodies. Beaches are closed because of medical waste. I got some wild ass shit to talk about. It's a Pokemon? All that and a lot freaking more on the other side of the break here on the Troll Patrol live. I don't know what a Pokemon is. Like, I mean, I know what a Pokemon is, but like, I've never played the games, which is amazing because they're like an RPG, right? I like RPG. I didn't realize they were all the way back on the Super Nintendo. Because I didn't hear about Pokemon until the 2000s, I don't think. It surprised me. Bill, I don't have kids. I'm not around kids. My nieces are fucking they have their own kids and I ain't fucking around them. An old man counter like James. I wanna be on with James sometime somewhere. Like I saw him on the Stoner Cast and I was like, ah damn. I wish I was on the I am old. Well oh, that's so cute, but I don't know what it is. Like I don't have the context. Like I've explained it before. I am 40 years old. When I was in 4th grade or 5th grade, that's when like Power Rangers was a big thing. And I kind of got into them and like the Green Ranger like died off and then they had the White Ranger and shit. And then by that time I was hitting puberty and all I could think about was pussy. I got really into fucking like music. I watched wrestling and MTV. I didn't really like, you know, that became my like, it was like night and day between like 6th grade and 7th grade. Well, see, once again, I didn't know that they were on Super Nintendo because, like, Super Nintendo is totally, like, my time period. All the people who get pussy now. I don't get much pussy nowadays, Raymond. My pussy getting days are kind of behind me. Well, my days of putting in the effort that it would take to get pussy are behind me. I don't, it's so easier just to stay home and jack off to some porn, and there's so many options on porn. I might have a porn addiction. I might have to back off a little bit. But I admit to you, the people who get pussy nowadays, they know what a Pokemon is. I am not one of them. So my jam when I was a kid was like Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe. I was the end of the 80s, the early 90s, but I was really into music. And like Marty Stewart and Eddie Money were my favorite artists when I was like a really small kid. And then by like 4th, 5th grade, it was Michael Jackson. I fucking loved Michael Jackson. I was really into Legos and shit, like, but I didn't on video games. I can't really tell you what it was probably like 7th grades when I got on Final Fantasy VII, and then I went back and played the older ones. I really liked the Zelda Ocarina of Time on the Super Nintendo. I think that might be the N64. Link to the Past, maybe? I don't fucking know. I'm old. Play the shit out of Zelda. I had Metroid. I liked I played sports games. I played wrestling games. I had like WrestleMania and shit. Games were also fucking expensive. Like people bitch about games nowadays, but they were fucking $70, $80 back when I was a kid. Like they went down when they became like disc based with PlayStation. And then now PlayStation's got greedy and they're charging fucking $60, $70, $80 for shit. The first Pokemon came out in 98. It doesn't go back to the Super Nintendo? I thought there was a Pokemon on the Super Nintendo. It's on the Game Boy Color. Question marks. Holy shit, then why did I think it was on... Well, then that explains it. I had a Game Boy, but I never had any games for it. Like, the only thing I had was Tetris. But hey, Tetris is good when you're like you're fucking on a bus or something for a long time. You can play some Tetris for a little bit. Meat Cakes, good evening. Alright, I'm done being a boomer. Woman, no, I don't even know if this is a woman. Suspect shot by police responding to a shooting in Hollywood.
A series of officer-involved shootings in that area. It happened after police were called to investigate an assault with a deadly weapon outside of a shopping plaza. KTLA's Alina Bovian live in North Hollywood with the latest for us. Alina, good morning.
Frank, good morning. Well, we just got an update with the LAPD, and we can now confirm 2 fatalities, that victim in the blue SUV we've been telling you about, and also the suspect in this case, the shooter. I have Megan Aguilar with me. She's with LAPD Media Relations. Good morning to you. Can you give us an update? What happened here?
Good morning. Yes. So just before 5 a.m. this morning, North Hollywood officers responded to a radio call of an assault with a deadly weapon here in the 12100 block of Victory Boulevard. When those officers arrived in the area, they saw the suspect, and he was armed with a handgun. He pointed that handgun at the officers, at which time they got out of their vehicle and there was an officer-involved shooting. The suspect ran north on Bellingham while the officers established a perimeter. While other officers arrived in the area, they set up around a large parking structure. At one point, the suspect, still armed, came out of that structure on the west side. There was a second officer-involved shooting. The suspect ran back into that parking structure, tried to come out on the north, still armed, where a third officer-involved shooting occurred. The suspect...
See, I'd rather be playing Witcher 3, like, kick back on the big-ass TV and shit. As I couldn't imagine playing it on a handheld. I'd rather have, like, you know, there's games that are simple, right? But I don't spend a lot of time, you know, traveling or anything. Like, I'm mainly here at my house. So I get to play games in the glory of the 70-something inch TV. I am an elder millennial. I'm one of the first wave millennials, born in 1984. I believe if you were born in 81 up, you were considered a millennial. 81 to 2000. I can tell you firsthand, having gone back to college in 2009, there is a big difference between me being born in 84 and a millennial and that's they're really seeped in Japanese culture. There's a lot of Pokemon and Dragon Ball and Pikachus and fucking shit I don't goddamn know about, right? Because my pot dealer was, you know, probably born in like 90, 92, 93 or some shit. Okay, Grandpa, indeed. I wear it. I wear it like a badge of honor, goddammit.
Suspect is deceased in the parking structure, struck by gunfire, and the handgun he was armed with is at scene.
So let's talk about this location here. We are right underneath the 170 freeway. This is right by Victory, and the shopping center we're talking about is the one that has the Burlington and also the Target. So as far as the victim goes, the shooter, what do we know about these people?
We know the shooter is a male adult. Right now, we don't have much more information. The coroner will be responding to the scene, and he will be responsible for confirming the identity of the shooter.
Were any officers...
Yeah, they're Naruto.
Fortunately, no officers were struck. We're still investigating the possibility.
Their Death Note and Skibidi Toilet.
But that's going to take a little bit today.
Robot blocks.
What do we know about the circumstances that led up to all this, the relationship, the circumstance between the victim and the shooter?
You know, unfortunately, right now, we just don't know much. Valley Bureau Homicide is at scene, and they will be handling that investigation into the decedent in the vehicle.
Now, this happened at 4:50 this morning, but still several closures here. There's also a middle school. How is that being...
Can you get his Skibidi Toilet?
Closures. So,
you are boring me, woman.
Is open.
I don't give a shit what you guys are talking about. Like, I give a shit what you guys are talking about. They're boring me. Fuck them. Apparently, this cop had a rant about a female officer. They've had to give him the boot because he's a giant misogynist.
Say they are completely cutting ties with a company known for its support of local law enforcement.
Oh, it's some company.
This coming after the comments against female police officers.
What? Hold on.
Well,
YouTube is not cooperating with me here. So it's a company So some company made a comment. The head of the company made a comment about female cops.
Local police departments say they are completely cutting ties with a company known for its support of local law enforcement. This coming after the comments against female police officers made by a well-known entrepreneur and podcast host from St. Louis. Fox 2's Caroline Petty has details on the backlash.
Wait, who's the podcast host?
Are responding.
Mandy, I'm standing outside of the new North St. Louis County precinct, which is named after fallen female officer Joanne Liscombe. Tomorrow, county officers will finally move into this building, but tonight, police officers in our area are defending women officers from comments made by a local business owner and social media influencer. During a now deleted podcast episode, Andy Frisella claimed women shouldn't be in the expletive field and made further derogatory comments about female officers, stating, "Every woman cop I've ever dealt with, every single expletive one that I've ever been pulled over by, try to make me feel like an expletive. His comments culminated
That's just cops in general.
Hypothetical involving violence toward female officers, where he suggested that without their badge or gun, could punch a hole through their expletive face and end their expletive life. In a press release from the St. Louis
It's kind of based.
Association President Derek Machins, the association.
Here's the thing: it would be based if he took out gender and just said all fucking cops. He's not wrong. That's your problem, buddy.
Condemned Frisella's statements as highly offensive and abhorrent. St. Louis Metropolitan Police Chief Robert Tracy also issued a firm statement condemning Frisella's remarks. Chief Tracy praised the contributions of female
Loves cops and hates women.
That they are valued and respected members of the force, serving in various capacities from patrol and detective work to senior leadership roles.
That's what it is.
And city police have also told Fox 2 News that going forward, they will not be working with Frisella's company, First Form, in any matter. In his apology this weekend, Frisella said near the beginning of his podcast that this incident doesn't reflect who I am or what I feel in my heart. The SLCPA president expressed dissatisfaction, noting that the apology focused more on Frisella's past donations to law enforcement causes than genuine remorse for his comments. The rhetoric Mr. Frisella used is not only disgusting language, but also fundamentally undermines the sacrifices made by our women officers. Machen said before highlighting the bitter irony of Frisella's
I'm siding with the cops on this one.
Police Women's Day, a day meant to honor the contributions of women in law enforcement. Fox 2 has reached out to Frisella through social media, asking for him to appear on camera for the story. We've not yet heard back, but if Andy Frisella would like to share his apology and his side of the story with Fox 2 News and our
He's calling him out.
Absolutely welcome to do so. Reporting in North St. Louis County, Caroline Petty, Fox 2 News.
Caroline Petty. I enjoyed her reporting. I thought she did a good job. There's something about her I really liked. Going to go to North Texas. A woman arrested after authorities found undocumented immigrants in her car, in the trunk of her car.
Here, Galvan. I got you.
Oh God, that's horrible.
What's here? Let me turn around. Put your hands behind your back. You can under arrest for careless driving.
This is what a trafficker looks like. A very voluptuous booty.
There you go.
Are you asleep or are you dead?
What's
going on here?
¿Cuántos son?
Dos.
Yeah.
Were we posing for a picture? Because that's really weird. There you go. Let's keep it in Texas, where hundreds of unclaimed bodies are being used as part of a Texas medical school's Flourishing bus? What the fuck is a flourishing bus?
The loved ones of a military veteran are now speaking out after his organs were sold, even though he never wanted to be an organ donor.
This is incredible. Tonight on Nightly News, an NBC
Flourishing bussy
investigation reveals that hundreds of unclaimed dead bodies are being used as part of a Texas medical school's flourishing business.
His right leg was sold.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, business.
Temporal bone, his torso.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think he would have?
I'm not fucking with you. Does that headline, so YouTube is only 100 characters. That headline absolutely says hundreds of unclaimed bodies are being used as part of a Texas medical school's flourishing bus. Does it not? I'm not smoking crack over here.
I was on crack.
Right. Well,
They're using bodies for a business.
Medical school's flourishing business.
His right leg was sold.
yes, ma'am.
His temporal bone, his torso.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think he would have wanted this?
No, he never wanted to be.
You don't just buy the whole body, you buy it a la carte. Yeah, I'll take his nut sack, his kneecap, and his elbow.
10 years we were married, he never wanted to be an organ donor. We talked about it. It's not ethical. It's inhumane to me.
All right, that story is coming up tonight during NBC Nightly News in just about 20 minutes as investigative reporters look into the ethical concerns at the University of North Texas.
No, I wanted to know it now. That's why I did the story. Here we go.
Military veteran who served in the Army for nearly a decade.
He was very friendly. He was outgoing, a nice dresser.
After being honorably
He's snazzy.
discharged, he began struggling with mental illness and homelessness. Then in 2022, he died of an apparent heart attack while living alone on the streets of Dallas. Honey was entitled to a burial with military honors, but instead, something else happened.
I think they think, homeless black man, he ain't got no family. They don't care about him. You were wrong about this one.
An NBC News investigation has found that Honey was among more than 2,300 people who died in the Dallas-Fort Worth region and were given to a state medical school that used.
In tonight's episode of What the Fuck is Up with Fort Worth,
and made money off their body parts, at times as their own families searched for them. For Honey, within a month of his death, the Dallas Medical Examiner's Office deemed him unclaimed, reporting phones for family members they tried were disconnected. And yet, he did have relatives, some living right there in Dallas. His ex-wife, Kimberly, and their 2 adult children say they had even visited Honey in a hospital months prior to his death.
To hear that your ex-husband has been deemed an unclaimed person, what's your reaction to that?
That's crazy. We're here. We've always been here. His son has his same name. How could he be unclaimed?
This is where Victor Honey's body was then taken, the University of North Texas Health Science Center, where, according to government documents, his body was then frozen, cut into pieces, and sent out to different medical groups across the country, all without his prior consent or his family's knowledge. Those documents show Honey's severed right leg sent to a Swedish medical device maker for $341. His torso shipped to a medical education company in Pittsburgh, which paid $900. And for $210, a pair of bones from his skull went to the U.S. Army for military medical training.
Wow.
Was sold.
Yes, ma'am.
His temporal bone, his torso.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think he would have wanted this?
No, he never wanted to be. The 10 years we were married, he never wanted to be an organ donor. We talked about it.
And Honey is not alone. NBC News reviewed thousands of pages of government records and data which reveal repeated failures to reach family members before declaring a body unclaimed.
It's a scam. They're getting money. They're getting kickbacks.
Which families learned months or years later that a loved one had been provided to the medical school. 5 of those families found out what happened from NBC News, including Honey's, a year and a half after his death.
I don't believe they tried to find us. I don't believe they did. You can find people. NBC found me in a day. You can find people.
Why do you think?
Yep.
They did it to him, a decorated military veteran. They'll do it to anybody.
Yep.
That's not okay.
For 5 years, the University of North Texas Health Science Center has had agreements with Dallas and Tarrant counties to take their unclaimed bodies for free, saving them a combined
What game are you playing, Thread?
year in cremation and burial costs. It also helped the school, making it about $2.5 million a year by leasing body parts to outside groups, according to financial records.
Somebody needs to answer, or somebody's, for what they did, what they're doing.
For 10 months, our team has been seeking answers from both counties and the Health Science Center. All three declined our repeated requests for interviews, but in statements, the counties told us they would be reviewing their contracts. The Health Science Center at first defended its program, arguing using unclaimed bodies is critical in the training of future doctors.
It don't seem like what you're using it for.
The story was set to air. It made a stunning reversal, telling NBC News it was suspending the program and firing the top officials who led it. Writing in a statement, as a result of the information brought to light through your inquiries, it has become clear that failures existed. They're hiring a consulting firm to investigate the program's operations.
My kids want answers. They want justice for their dad.
Honey's family recently received ashes that the county told them were his.
We don't believe those are his ashes, but we gave him and did what he deserved as a decorated military veteran.
And so, this summer,
we don't believe it's his ashes. Wow.
Family finally laid Honey to rest.
You would think in this day's time, this doesn't happen here in America. But yeah.
Are you on the classic? Because didn't they do look like an old school one?
Well, Lester,
fucking Lester.
In nearly every single state nationwide, but there's no national data that tracks it, which is why we conducted our own survey. We reached out to 51 major U.S. medical centers to try to get a sense of how pervasive this actually is. We will bring the results of that survey in a story coming up soon here on Nightly News.
Very troubling and disturbing. Liz, thanks very much. Thanks for watching.
Shut up, Lester. Fuck the classic. Still on the whatever the newest iteration is, eh? I keep going back to my notes and I don't have notes. I keep forgetting. We're winging it. We're free balling tonight. It's free ball freaking. The beaches in North Carolina are closed. Or at least one beach is, because medical waste keeps washing up.
Along the eastern shore as medical waste washes into the sand.
A very disturbing story here. We're talking about things like hypodermic needles and used hygiene products. 10 on Air Side's Nick Broadway shows us how the waste is so...
David, what's going on, my friend?
Closing beaches in 3 states.
It's getting into the sand and water at beaches between Ocean City, Maryland and Chincoteague. Things like used hypodermic needles, syringes, and feminine hygiene products, along with other medical waste, started gradually appearing along these beaches over the weekend. Maryland State Park sent out an alert warning visitors and people who live there to not go in the water and wear shoes if they visit the beach. After medical waste started appearing near Ocean City, visitors to its south started seeing the same type of waste. Astig Island National Seashore had to start restricting and closing off access to its beaches. They're saying it started appearing yesterday. So they believe anyone who visited on Saturday or earlier do not need to worry about coming into contact with the waste. It's not clear how long the closure will last or how much more medical waste might wash up later. It's also not clear how further south we'll start to see this medical waste. In Maryland, the sight of these needles in the ground frustrated visitors.
I mean, just coming to the beaches is a safe place, you would think, especially for families and just wanting to lay back and have fun, and just to know that, something like that is even possible with the waste and then the dangerousness of the needles.
Local health department leaders are investigating where this medical waste is coming from. Authorities say the source is not known. Nick Broadway, 10 on your side.
Nick Broadway. Yeah, looking like Ludwig Koopa over here. A lot of shit in Texas going down. A Texas pipeline explosion has forced the evacuation of thousands of people. It has been raging all goddamn day.
Now, I want to show you some of these images. A pipeline explosion
basically shooting flames up into the air. This is in a suburb of Houston. It is still burning even as we speak. Firefighters are trying to get a handle on this thing, but you can see it here. Emergency officials have said, hey, folks nearby, you got to get out, and you got to get out now. This explosion shut down major roads, created, of course, some power outages. We're told at least one firefighter has been hurt so far. Priscilla Thompson is joining us now. Priscilla, I know you're there on the scene. What do we know about what happened here, what caused this, and when they might be able to get it under control?
Yeah, Hallie, so the cause of this fire is still under investigation, but we just received a statement from Energy Transfer, the company that owns this pipeline, and they are saying that it may have been caused by an unknown vehicle that hit a pipeline valve, which is what caused that fire to spring up. You can see it back there. We're going to work on getting a little closer in just a bit. And as you see also, the CenterPoint Energy trucks that have just pulled out as folks are dealing with a power issue back there. But it has been like this for the past 6+ hours, officials tell us. And the mayor here in Deer Park, Texas, is saying that the focus right now is on containment. Take a listen.
Are they shooting water at it?
In a containment mode, as you can see with the cameras, that the fire is it's very hot. So a lot of the house structures that are adjacent to that are still catching on fire, even though we're putting a lot of water on them to try to control them.
Oh, okay.
And obviously a very scary scene for the people who live here. Nearly 1,000 addresses had to be evacuated, so that those were homes, schools, and businesses. And people described hearing this very loud boom this morning.
Wow.
This fiery ball in the sky of that fire and just those billowing black clouds. Hallie?
We're looking at live pictures here, Priscilla, just so folks know, on the left side of our screen. That's happening as we speak there in Texas. You mentioned
just a couple hours ago.
Any clearer sense?
I don't think they've got it under control yet.
Of when that may happen, or does it really all just depend on what you've laid out here, the firefighting effort?
So it will depend largely on the firefighting effort. We know that they have turned off the natural gas in this pipeline, but they still have to wait for all of the gas that was already out there to burn off. And so we're told that the energy company is working with residents who have been displaced to try to set them up with house overnight lodging, that there's a hotline that's...
Alien Deep Dish, good evening.
But the mayor says that it could be later tonight, if not early in the morning, before folks are able to get back in. So this is going to burn for a few more hours. Hallie?
A few more hours. You want a live look at it? Still fucking burning. This is Fox 26 out of Houston. This is a good shot of how close it is to the houses. Wow. This is a live shot. Everything's bigger in Texas. Holy fuck. Oh God, the utility pole is bending. It's been burning all goddamn day. I was about to say, what's all those red lights in the houses, but it's just a reflection of the emergency lights from across the street. It's mesmerizing. It's been getting bigger. Curiouser. This is a gas line that exploded. What time this morning in Texas? It was early, 7 or 8 o'clock. It has been burning all day. 1,000 residents have been evacuated. This is a live shot. This is a Houston suburb, I do believe. That's when you first saw it, or is that what? Because usually, you know, we're an hour or so behind, you know, when news hits. It was sometime this morning in Texas. It has been burning all day. They said they should be able to put it out sometime overnight or by in the morning. Okay, so we pinpointed sometime around like 10:30. It's it's kind of pretty. What don't you guys think? And what is causing it to get bigger every now and again? Because like it dies down a little bit and then it rears back up. There it goes again. Does gas come through pipes in spurts? Oh, is it? Oh, the wind. Oh, that would make sense. Duh, Justin. All right. We're gonna watch. It is Live Music Monday. We're gonna watch the VMAs from last week and watch Justin be a boomer. So we got a couple more stories, and we're gonna get the fuck out of here. We're gonna do Live Music Monday. One more quick political story. Sometimes Justin don't brain good. Fair enough, Thread. Go back to your game. Irresponsible. The White House slams Elon Musk's comment on Trump assassination attempt. I should have done this earlier. After Sunday's apparent assassination attempt on Trump's life, Musk wrote on his X platform in a since-removed post, I'm not going to say it because Elon's probably going to get a visit from the FBI. You guys can read it on the screen. It is right here. The billionaire entrepreneur initially resisted calls online to delete the post. He responded to one request to reconsider his comment. No one has even tried to do so is the point I'm making, and no one will. He responded to another request to delete and reword with, fair enough, I don't want to do what they have done even in jest. Musk eventually deleted the post and claimed it was just a joke. The White House said violence should only be condemned and never encouraged or joked about. The spreader is irresponsible. Representative from Twitter not respond. The Emmys were last night. And apparently the clip that is making everyone cringe. Oh shit! We've got breaking news. Sean P. Diddy Combs arrested in New York City. Embattled rapper and hip-hop musician Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in NYC on Monday night amid a federal investigation into sex trafficking allegations, his lawyer and sources said. It's unclear what charges the fallen star is facing, but the New York Times reported that the arrest follows a grand jury indictment. P. Diddler got booked. Combs has also been accused of a long pattern of domestic violence against his former partner, R&B singer Cassie Ventura. She sued him in November, and the pair quickly settled, but a distressing video of him assaulting Ventura in a hotel hallway in 2016 recently surfaced. What is the video that the New York Post has here? Apparently Cassie has released a statement. Oh no, this is old. Fucking New York Post. The source said the hip-hop mogul has fully cooperated and voluntarily came to New York in anticipation of the charges. We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. I'm sad that he didn't get like the FBI SWAT team raiding him face down on the floor. Anyway, the Emmys from last night. Two of my favorite actors were apparently making waves for a joke about Meryl Streep.
Without this support, the whole package falls.
I probably can't play this, can I? I feel like they copyright struck me last time I played something. Like, didn't we do like a monologue? I like on Twitch got me copyright struck. I better not, actually. Think better of myself. These award shows are horrible. Meryl Streep turned heads at the 2024 Emmys, and not for the usual reasons. The award-winning star, 75, did not take home her typical pile of trophies for her Hulu show, Only Murders in the Building. I have never heard of that. But she drew attention when she reacted to an off-color joke. When they were presenting the award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series, for which Streep was nominated, real-life spouses and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia co-stars Rob McElhenney and Caitlin Olsen made a joke at Streep's expense. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to honor the comedic performances that hold everything in place. They show crucial support when it's really needed. Olsen jumped in to say, what you are describing sounds very much like a jockstrap. No, it doesn't, McElhenney said. He continued, these roles make sure everything stays secure. Without the support, the whole package falls apart. All right, it does sound like a jockstrap. His wife then said, are you calling Meryl Streep a jockstrap? And Rob said, no, I'm sorry, Meryl. Streep mouthed, oh God. I'm sure they took it in stride, right? Meryl Streep's cool, I assume. He'll take a light ribbing. It wasn't really a shot at her. It was just a funny quip. We're gonna do animal video and then live music Monday on Twitch. Gonna do the VMAs from this past week.
Well, the game of golf has plenty of aviary terms. Birdies and eagles. Not a whole lot of wild cats, though.
Until a recent golf tournament in Littleton. Here's Landon.
He wanted to say, did he say aviary? Did he mean aviary? Or is it like, am I trying to dunk on him and he knows far more than me?
Well, the game of golf has plenty of aviary terms.
Aviary. He just said it.
Not a lot of wild cats, though.
Until a recent golf tournament in Littleton. Here's Landon Hoff.
In photography, the beauty is often in the unexpected.
Kind of that right place at the right time situation.
And that was certainly the case for David Townsend during a recent visit to Arrowhead Golf Course in Littleton.
My wife was shooting still photos and I was shooting video clips.
He and his wife Lynn went there to capture scenes like these at a golf tournament fundraiser. Until they got to the 13th hole.
We noticed two little animals kind of scurrying out from the bushes onto the fairway, and they were far enough away you couldn't really tell what they are. So it wasn't until everybody teed off from the box and then made our way down the fairway that we noticed that they were actually bobcats.
The photographer duo spotted 4 bobcat kittens playing in the rough just off the fairway on the course's signature hole.
One of them just sat there with it in his mouth, and the other one was kind of like grabbing the ball and running over to another cat and jumping over him, and that's where I got those kind of aerial photos.
The folks at Arrowhead tell us the golf course, which backs up to the open space at Roxborough State Park, is home to lots of wildlife, including even mountain lions.
God, what gorgeous pictures.
David and Lynn mostly photograph people through their business doing weddings, events, and other portraits. But David says he got his start in nature and landscape photography.
That's always been kind of like the common thread in all my photography, is incorporating that part of the environment in whatever I'm doing.
Even with 25 years behind the lens, though, these little guys will have a special place in this photographer's heart.
But these bobcat pictures, they rank up there for sure with favorites. You know, it's kind of like, I don't want to say once in a lifetime, but the amount that they were playing with each other, the shots I was able to get, that I might have to say that on this one.
For Denver 7 and Discover Colorado, I'm Landon Hoff. Hole.
One of them just
Let's see him again.
in his mouth, and the other one was kind of like grabbing the ball and running.
Avalon, good evening.
Jumping over him, and that's where I got those kind of aerial.
Curious, sir, did I tell you good evening?
Tell us the golf course, which backs up to the open space at Roxborough State Park, is home to lots of wildlife.
Yeah, let's look at it again.
Signature hole.
That is so fucking cute. Oh yeah, there's the mommy. Just watching over them, making sure they're okay.
One of them just sat there with it in his mouth, and the other one was kind of like grabbing the ball and running over.
Holy shit, they're adorable.
And that's where I got those kind of aerial photos.
The folks at Arrowhead tell us the golf course, which backs up to the open space at Roxborough State Park, is home to lots of wildlife, including even mountain lions and bears. David and Lynn mostly photograph people through their business doing weddings, events, and other portraits. But David says
Avalon, I hope you're feeling better.
Nature and landscape photography.
Light one up, tip one back.
Like the comment.
If that would help your headache.
Photography is incorporating that part of the environment in whatever I'm doing.
Even with 25 years behind the lens, though, these little guys will have a special place in this photographer's heart.
But these bobcat pictures, they rank up there for sure with favorites. You know, it's kind of like, I don't want to say once in a lifetime, but the amount that they were playing.
If you're watching on Twitch, stick around. We're going to do Live Music Monday.
Colorado, I'm Landon Hoff. Playing in the rough.
You're going to watch the VMAs from this past week. If you're watching on YouTube,
in his mouth and
enjoying the podcast,
kind of like
go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack.
Kind of area.
I'm JustinFREAKIN. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol live.
Roxborough State Park is home to lots of wildlife, including
bye-bye YouTube peeps.
Bears.